DR3 of Don Ruffner III, the 06 of George Salgeir, the 68 of Kyle Finlayson, the number 12 of Dave Milburn, the number 66 of Jacob Gustafson, and the number 10, he's tonight's top qualifier. That's the number 10 of Jake Albright. For the Midwest Tour Compact Series. Sprague, Ruffner Jr., looking for the green flag off of turn number 4. Green flag is out and we're underway. Three wide deep in the pack between Gustafson, Milburn, and Albright. 3 wide for the 6th spot. Ruffner sideways there. He's going to slip up 3 wide for 3rd. And Ruffner and Gustafson make contact. Ruffner up into the wall in turn number 1. In the Midwest Touring Compact Heat Race number 1 of 3. As Brian Sprague, Don Ruffner III on the front row. 2 in, 8 to go. Sprague in the 75 sets the pace. Green flag is out and we're underway. 8 laps to go. Jake Albright looking to the inside. The 06 there off of turn number 4 that time by Albright. He was tonight's top qualifier for the Midwest Touring Compacts. Halfway, 5 laps in, 5 laps to go. Albright to the outside, looking for 3rd on the 06. As Gustafson there in the 66 also pressing the issue. He's inside the top 5. Milburn all over the back bumper of Gustafson. Albright sideways through 3 and 4, able to save it. Here comes the 06. And to the checkered flag, your winner will be the number 75 of Brian Sprague. 2nd to Jake Albright. 3rd to Don Ruffner III. 4th to George Salgeir. 5th to Jacob Gustafson. 6th to Dave Milbrand. 7th to Kyle Finlayson. the number 21. That is Sean Dunley to the outside. He's actually taken scratch, but to the outside is going to be the number 64 of Jamie Leslie. The number 69 of Dan Bucky. The number 14, Tim Likens. The 41 of Toby Cook. The number 25 of Leah Howell. The number 15 of Derek Robinson. The 22 of Kyle Rector. And the number 15, that's Curtis Finlayson. Heat race number 2 of 3 for the Midwest Touring Compacts has Sean Dudley in the 721 and Jamie Leslie in the 64. 10 lap heat race number 2. Dudley and Leslie looking for the green flag. Green flag is out and we're underway. Leslie battling to the outside and Dunley for the number 1 spot. Likens sits there in 3rd. Here comes Bucky. Here comes Hale. There, it's your top 5. Then you got Cook, Rector, Robinson, and Finlayson. Leslie, your race leader at the line. Dudley in 2nd. Likings in 3rd. Here comes Leah Howell there to the number 3 spot. Rector, Bucky, they're going to follow. Leah Howell to the inside and all over the back bumper of Dudley as here comes Kyle Rector to the inside. Rector to the inside of Sean Dudley for the number 2 spot. Leah Howell there all over the back bumper at Dudley still. White flag, 1 lap to go for Jamie Leslie as Kyle Rector in the 22's right there. Rector to the outside of Leslie for the top spot. Leslie to the inside, Rector to the outside. Who's going to have it at the stripe? Leslie up the track, and it's going to be Leslie just by mere inches. Pulling to the line, give a hand to your winner, the number 64 of Jamie Leslie. Number 8 starting in the back, the number 58. And the number 58 is Brad Merritt. The number 0, that's Braden Swaney. The number 443B, that's Justin Bison. The number 4, that's Dennis Garrett. The number 9, it's Gavin Roop. The number 52 of Jeremy Salinger. The number 8 of Jeff Pfeiffer. And the number 4E of Corey Heron. Third and final heat race for the Midwest Touring Compact Series here on night number 1 of 2 for the 2019 Bucky Mowing Fall Classic. Thorpe to the inside, Myatt to the outside. Swaney there in third, looking for the green flag. Green flag is out, and we're underway. Barrett in the 58, in the 0, Swaney battling there for the number 2 spot. Dennis Garrett in the 4, Jeremy Slinger in the 52. They battle for 4th. Jeremy Salinger to the inside of the number 4 of Dennis Garrett. Of Merritt, he's now the race leader over Thorpe, as Thorpe's now under pressure from the 0 of Swaney, the 52 of Salinger. White flag. As the number 58 of Brad Merritt, he's going to come off with turn number 4 to the checkered flag. Your winner, the 58 of Brad Merritt. Second to Braden Swaney. Third to Jeremy Salinger. Fourth to James Thorpe. Fifth, Dennis Garrett. Fifth. Fifth to Justin Bison. And seventh of Jeff Pfeiffer. Pulling to the line, give a hand to your winner, the number 58 of Brad Merritt. New car. Not brand new, but new to the owner in the Hammer Construction. He's from Akron, Ohio, on the Ambrose Fabrication. That is John Ambrose. To the outside, he was the 2019 Mid-Ville Speedway Point Champion in the late model division from Denison, Ohio, and the Landstar recruiting agent. Factory Street Pub and Grill, sponsor number 17. That is Bob Snyder Jr. To the inside, row number 2. That in the 577 of AP Wren. The number 48 He's from Weirton, West Virginia. That is Jonathan Ritter, the 24. From Dayton Hutton, Ohio, of Neil Rowley. The number 25. From Minerva, Ohio, the number 25. And the G&H Construction sponsor, number 25 of Chris Grubbs. The number 83. All the way from Barberton, Ohio, the number 83 of Dino Campolito. The number 69 from Stone Creek, Ohio. And the AW Tipco Oil and Gas sponsor, number 69. Of Bob Eichel, and the other 69 from New Philadelphia, Ohio, of Corey Heron. All super late models. 10-lap heat race has the number 65 of Ambrose, the 17 of Snyder. Flag is out and we're underway. As Ambrose to the inside, Snyder to the outside. Crate Motor Power, the top two. He's got John all over the back bumper of him. Ambrose hammering it down going into turn number 3. As Grubbs and Rowley battle there for the number 5 and 6 position. Good battle up front so far between the number 17 of Snyder, the 65 of Ambrose. Five laps to go for Snyder, Ambrose, Wren, Ritter, and Grubbs the top 5. Ambrose all over the back bumper of Snyder for the top spot. Good battle there for 5th between Grubbs, Rowley, and Campolito. White flag, 1 lap to go for Snyder. As Ambrose still all over the back bumper of him. Ambrose trying to close in on back straightaway. Off the turn number 4 to the checker flag. Your winner, the 17 of Bob Snyder Jr. Second to John Ambrose. Third to AP Wren. Fourth to Jonathan to Chris Grubbs. Sixth to Neil Rowley. Seventh to Dino Campolito. And eighth to Corey Heron. And pulling to the line in the Factory Street Pub and Grill. Landstar Recruiting Agency by Jeff Seacrest. Guest Motors. Give a hand to your winner, Bob Snyder Jr. Open Modifieds. 10-lap heat race. Top 3 transfer to the A main. So this right here, this is actually 9th, 12th, 15th, so on. Top qualifiers. As the top 3, that's where they'll actually start tomorrow. So again, top 10 was actually locked in, so top 3 still taken out of the heat race. So heat race number 1 of 3 for the Open Modifieds. Top 3 transfer to the A main tomorrow. That's going to lock in 19 cars tonight. We'll take the top 5 out of the last chance tomorrow. The 6 of Ryan Seifer, 31, Chad Lemmerman, 60, Sam Bingham, 32, Brian Whitnall, 17, Greg Miller, 27, Randy Gray, 64 of Wayne Mounts. 10 lap heat race number 1 for the Open Modified. Good race so far for the Open Modifieds. Has number 31 of Chad Lemmerman out front. 6 of Ryan Seifer, 32 Brian Whitnall, 60 Sam Bingham, and Greg Miller, your top 5. And a caution on the speedway is the 27 of Randy Gray spinning on his own in turn number 2. With 7 laps in, 3 laps to go. Green flag is back and we're underway. 7 laps in. White flag, 1 lap to go for the 31 of Lemmerman. Checker flag, you're winning the 31 of Chad Lemmerman. 2nd to Sam Bingham. 3rd to Ryan Seifer. 4th to Greg Miller. 5th to Brian Whitnall. And 6th to Wayne Mounts. Pulling to the line, give a hand to your winner, the number 31 of Chad Lemmerman. of Logan Hamilton, the 93 of Thomas Mays, the 33 of Jeremy Minninger, and the number 43 of Sean Lewis. Heat race number 2 of 3 for the Open Modifieds. Tonight's top qualifier with a new track record was the number 16 of Rick Gretsch, as Corky's place number 16. Miller to the inside, Taylor to the outside. Green flag is out and we're underway. Norm Taylor battling to the outside of the 86 of Zach Miller for the number 1 position. Thomas Mays sits there in third. Of Miller, that time by into turn number 3. White flag, 1 lap to go for Norm Taylor, with Miller in second, Mays in third, Hamilton in fourth, and Billinger in fifth. To the checkered flag off of turn number 4, picking up the win, the 32 of Norm Taylor. Second to Zach Miller, third to Thomas Mays, fourth to Logan Hamilton, fifth to Jeremy Millinger, and sixth to Sean Lewis. Give a hand to your winner, the number 32 of Norm Taylor. For the Open Modified, starting on the front row, the number 67 of Bob Page, the number 82 of Bob Sibla Jr. The inside row, number 2, the number 26 of Jason Drew, the number 14 of Doug Mate, number 79 of Steve Jones, the number 24 of Nick Grubbs. So third and final heat race for the open modifieds. Page to the inside, Sibla to the outside. Looking for the green flag, 10 lap, heat race number 3. Good battle up front between Sibla in the 82 and Bob Page in the 67. Jason Drew, he's under pressure from Grubbs and Doug Mate. This is going to be halfway this time by. 5 laps in, 5 laps to go. Sibla your leader with Page in second, Drew third, Grubbs fourth, Mate fifth, and Jones in the 6th spot. Page all over the back bumper of Sibla there for the top spot. White flag, 1 lap to go for Sibla. Sibla has a tire rub. Page is right there in the 2nd spot. Page still all over the back bumper of Sibla. Off of turn number 4. Flag in front of the 82 of Bob Sibla Jr. Has problems for the 24 of Grubbs. It's where you'll start on the inside for tomorrow. Second heat race will start the outside. So where you finish, it's where you'll start on the outside tomorrow. So the number 75 of Bobby DeVore the second, the number 87 of Zach Leisure, the number 338 of Brandon France, the number 99 of Marty Powers, the number 54, Doug McMillan, 55, of Brandon Bailey, the 38 of Kevin McClintock, and the number 92 of Dan Sharpless. Lap heat race, 1 of 2 for the Crate Motor Modifieds is Bobby DeVore. The second is out front with Leisure and France. Battle there for the number 2 position. McMillan, Powers, McClintock. Good racing so far for the crate modifieds as McClintock looking to the inside of France. Here comes McMillan to the inside of Leisure. McClintock now to the inside of Leisure for the number 3 position. He's going to bring Brandon Bailey with him also. Leisure of high France has to brake check as Power looking to the inside of France. Bailey looking to the outside of Kevin McClintock for the number 3 position. Here comes Doug McMillan, 3 wide down the back straightaway. As DeVore had to back out of it, here comes Kevin McClintock, Doug McMillan. They battle up front, top spot. As Brandon Bailey also sitting there. Him and McMillan make a little contact in turn number 2. White flag, 1 lap to go for Kevin McClintock. Checkered flag here, winner the 38 of Kevin McClintock. Second to Brandon Bailey, third to Doug McMillan, fourth to Bobby DeVore the second. Fifth to Marty Power, sixth to Brandon France, seventh to Zach Leisure, and eighth to Dan Sharpless. And pulling to the line in the Van Meter Auto Repair, Stewart's Flooring, Broadway Cheese House, Penzo's Pizza, Federated Auto Parts. Sponsor number 38, give a hand to your winner, Kevin McClintock. They're modified, starting on the front row, the number 7 of Corey Beatty, the number 69 of Dom Riffner III, the 4 of Jerry DeVore, the 25 of Sean Martyr. .331 of Michael Stone, the 27 of Braden Swaney, 09 Philip Cox, 66 of Lewis McGrath, and then the 95 of Brad Milburn. Green flag is out and we're underway. Brake checking that time going into turn number 1. Here comes Sweeney to the inside of Ruffner as Stone and DeVore make a little contact off at turn number 2. And tick-tock, he broke out, the number 7 of Corey Beatty. Sweeney challenging all over the number 25 of Mark Cox. Sweeney side by side for the number 2 position. for Sean Martyr in the 25. Here comes Philip Cox to the outside. Battle for the top spot. Going into turn number 3, Martyr to the inside, Philip Cox to the outside, off at turn number 4, photo finish, it's going to be Martyr just by mere inches. Pulling to the line, give a hand to your winner, the number 25 in the always green landscape. Sponsor number 25 of Sean Martyr. 99 is Scott Skufka. The number 22 of Kylie Wood. 95 is Scott Richardson. The 22, Mike Town. The 6 of Kyle Lawson. The 67N of Johnny Newman. So again, if you like a DVD of tonight and tomorrow's racing action here at Midvale Speedway, come on up and see Mid-Vid Racing videos. $15. That gets tonight's, tomorrow's, and the always fun, the fan favorite, the trailer race that comes up tomorrow after all our features. So again, if you don't have any plans tomorrow, make sure Midvale Speedway is your top priority to be here tomorrow for all feature action. Plus the fan favorite, the trailer race. Then instead of the Midwest Compacts, we'll have the Open Compacts here tomorrow. So we're going to move on into heat race number 1 of 3 for the Open Street Stocks. Heat race number 1 of 3 for the Open Street Stocks. Green flag is out, and we're underway with Tyler Bertram and Scott Skufka in the 99. Kylie Wood to the inside for the number 2 spot. Here comes Town to the inside of Richardson. Wood and Scott Skufka battle there for the number 2 spot. Halfway this time by 5 laps in, 5 laps to go for Tyler Bertram, Kylie Wood, Scott Skufka, Mike Town, Scott Richardson, your top 5, with Kyle Lawson and John Newman, you're rounding out your top 7. White flag, 1 lap to go for Kyler Bertram, Kylie Wood, Scott Skufka, your top 3, as Richardson and Town battle there for the number 4 position. Pulling to the line in the Joe's Auto RPM Sales, sponsor number 55. Give a hand to your winner, Kyler Bertram. Myers, the number 12 of Jeff Kuykendall, the 75, all the way from West Virginia, of Chris Jevedid, the number 55 of Robbie Kordiak, the number 31 of Lindsay Fade, the 0 of Blake Ripley, and the 36 of Luther Hurley. This heat race, then one more heat race for the street stocks, 2 for the mini trucks, then we go on into trick or treat. Here on night number 1 for the Classic. Heat race number 2 has Myers and Kuykendall looking for the green flag. Green flag is out and we're underway. Green flag is out. A caution is coming out. Kuykendall to the outside of Myers for the top spot off at turn number 2. Still side by side for top spot. Jevedid, Kuykendall, they battle for 3rd. Myers had a brake check off of 4, opening up the outside lane for Robbie Kordiak. Kordiak all over the back bumper of Myers for the top spot. For 2nd, as Kuykendall, he's pulling away. Contact there in the back, caution's out. Flag is out, 2 in, 8 to go. Kasha coming out is the 31, spinning by himself over in turn number 4. In the 12. Myers in the 07. looking for the green flag off of 4. Green flag is out. 8 laps to go. As Luther, Hurley, and Fade make more contact in turn number 1. 3-car breakaway up front between Kuykendall, Myers, Kordiak. Top 3 under a blanket. Kordiak trying to look to the inside of Myers for the number 2 spot. Kordiak all over the back bumper of Myers for the number 2 position. Seven laps down, 3 laps to go for Kuykendall, Myers, and Kordiak, your top 3, with Fade and Hurley rounding out your top 5. To the checkered flag, your winner, the 12, with Jeff Kuykendall. Second to Zach Myers. Third to Robbie Kordiak. Fourth to Lindsey Fade. Fifth to Luther Hurley. Sixth to the 0 of Blake Ripley. Give a hand to your winner, the number 12 of Jeff Kuykendall. The number 48 of Will Wiggins. The 118 of Colt Locker. The number 83 of Rod Miller. The number 8 of J.D. Lawson. Number 79 of Lewis Hill. 66 of Curtis Collins. And the number 99 of Tyson Forstischer. Wiggins, Locker, looking for the green flag. Green flag is out and we're underway. Wiggins is out front with Locker in second. J.D. Lawson in the 3rd spot. Ron Miller in 4th. And Lewis Hill in the 5th spot. 6 laps down, 4 laps to go for Wiggins as Lockers closing in. J.D. Lawson has pressure from Ron Miller for the number 3 spot. As Curtis Collins all over the back bumper of Lewis Hill for 5th. Lockers there all over the back bumper of Will Wiggins for the top spot. It's going to be white flag, 1 lap to go for Wiggins and Locker. Off at turn number 4 to the checkered flag, your winner, the 48 of Will Wiggins. 2nd to Colt Locker. 3rd to J.D. Lawson. 4th to Ron Miller. 5th to Lewis Hill. And 6th to Curtis Collins. Pulling to the line of the Wiggins 48 of Will Wiggins. McLean, the number 4 of Tim Scott, the 95 of Michael Varnes, the number 2 of Barney Gerber. Heat race for the mini trucks has Dwayne Powell in the 21, Scott Lindell in the 19. Looking for the green flag. Green flag is out and we're underway. Powell to the inside, Lindell to the outside. McLean and Scott battle there for 3rd. Here comes Varnes. Varnes looking to the inside of Tim Scott for the number 4 position. Problems for Gerber in the 2 as he has to brake check when he was to the outside of Varnes. Inside. White flag, 1 lap to go for Scott Lindell. As Dwayne Powell has pressure from the number 4 of Tim Scott. Checkered flag, your winner, the 19 of Scott Lindell. Second to Dwayne Powell. Third to Tim Scott. Fourth to Eddie McLean. Fifth to Michael Varnes. And sixth to Barney Gerber. Pulling to the line, give a hand to your winner, the number 19 of Scott Lindell. And then we'll have trick or treat at intermission. So drivers, pit side, trick or treat at intermission coming up. So again, drivers, after this heat race, trick or treat. You can bring your guys' cars out. Make sure you have candy for the kids. Trick or treat after this heat race. Chad Squires. And the 26, the number 3 of Josh Peebles. The 29 of Bill Obule. The number 10 of Raleigh Hyder Jr. And the number 57 of Rick Brick. The number 57 for heat race number 2 for the mini trucks. And caution on the speedway is the 29 of Bill Obule spinning on his own in turn number 2. And the number 3 of Josh Peebles. Then the number 26 of Chad Squires. 1 lap in, looking for the green. Green flag is out and we're underway. Caution coming out is the 26 of Chad Squires catching fire. So 3 laps in for the mini trucks. Raleigh Hyder Jr. and Josh Peebles. Green flag is out and we're underway. Rolly Hyder Jr., Bill Obule, Josh Peebles, your top three, with Rick Brick there in fourth. Battle for the race lead between Bill Obule and Raleigh Hyder Jr. with Josh Peebles there in the third spot. White flag, 1 lap to go for Obule, Hyder, and Peebles. Hyder closes the door on Peebles going into turn number 1, and Obule pulls to a couple truck lengths. He's off at turn number 4 to the checkered flag. Your winner, the 29 of Bill Obule. Second to Josh Peebles. Third to Roddy Hyder Jr. And fourth to Rick Brick. So again, drivers pit side, trick or treat time. Compact A main, starting on the front row, the number 15. That is Derek Robinson. To the outside, the 22 of Kyle Rector. The 75 of Brian Sprague. The 7 of Don Rufner Jr. The 007 of Don Rufner III. The 06. George Salgeyer in the 06. Kyle Phillips in the 68. Dave Milbrand in the number 12. The 66 of Jacob Gustafson. The 10 of Jake Albright, the 25 of Leah Howie, the number 41 of Toby Cook, the 14 of Tim Lyken, the number 69 of Dan Bucky, the 64 the number 64 of Jamie Leslie, and the number 15 of Curtis Finlayson. 30-lap feature for the Midwest Tour Compacts, the number 15 of Derek Robinson, the 22 of Kyle Rector, the 75 flag this time by. Next time by, we're going green. The 15, the 22, 30 laps. Derek Robinson in the 15. Kyle Rector in the 22. Looking for the green flag. Green flag is out and we're underway. Rector pulling out into an early lead. Here comes Rufner Jr. He's got Sprague in the 75 and George in the 06. He split the middle. The 06 did. Rufner up high. Rufner the third. Has to brake check on Sprague there in turn number 3. Rufner Jr. stuck in the outside lane. Dave Milbrand in the 12. He's following the outside lane. He's bringing Albright in the 10 with him. As Sprague and Milbrand almost get together on the back straightaway. Milbrand, Albright, they're going to move up into the top 5. Sit third and fourth. Rufner Jr. back to 5th. Sellinger in the 06 all over the back bumper of Rector for the race lead as here comes Milburn and Albright. They sit third and fourth. Two cars pulling pit side. The 15 of Curtis Finlayson and the number 64 of Jamie Leslie. Milburn, Albright almost making contact on the back straightaway off at 2. Battle for third. Milburn to the inside. Albright to the outside. Sellinger to the inside of Rector in turn number 1. Moves Albright up for the race lead. Sellinger, Rector staying side by side. They're off at 2. Albright, your race leader. Battle for the number 4 position between Gustafson and Slinger in there for the number 5 position. As the 15 and Derek Robinson, he's going to pull it pit side. Good battle for third between Rector and Gustafson as Gustafson's going to pull it to the third. Here comes Sprague to the outside of Rector. Rector, Sprague make a little contact. Here comes the 06 and Sellinger. They're battling back. Problems for the 66 of Gustafson on the front straightaway. Still problems for the 66 of Gustafson as he's going into turn number 3 this time by as the 10 of Albright. Looking to put him down a lap. Laps in, 10 laps to go as Jake Albright put in the 41 of Toby Cook, another lap down. So far your top 5, Jake Albright, Dave Milburn, Brian Sprague in the 3rd spot, George Schindler in the 4th, John Ruffner in the 3rd, rounding out your top 5. 5 laps to go for Jake Albright, with Dave Milbrand sitting in the number 2 spot. He's through 3 and 4 off of 4 white flag, 1 lap to go for the 10 of Jake Albright. On the back straight. Since he found Mid-Vid the Knack Tuning victory lane. Albright. Second to Dave Milbrand. Third to Brian. Fourth to George Slinger. Fifth to Don Ruffner the third. Sixth to Don Ruffner Jr. Seventh to Kyle Phillison. Eighth to Kyle Rector. Ninth to Toby Cook. 10th to Leah Howe. 11th to Dan Bucky. 12th to Tim Lincoln. 13th to Jacob Gustafson. 14th to Derek Robinson. 15th to Curtis Phillison. And 16th to Jamie Leslie. Jake Albright. Well, congratulations, Jake. First off, I'd like to congratulate you on being the East and the national champion. First off, how's that feel before we go on into tonight?
It feels so awesome. I told my crew at the beginning of the season that's all I wanted to do is just win the championship. I didn't think about 2 until last week. They said, well, you had a good chance of winning 2 championships at Midvale, and Midvale's my home track. I'm glad I can get a win back here again, and this is an unbelievable season. I can't thank my crew back, my guys back home, and Bob, my father-in-law, my wife for sport, my brother-in-law, Mike. These guys put a lot of heart and soul in this car. Earlier today, we had to drop the transmission because we had a clutch failure, and we only had one hot lap session. And the other hot lap session was qualifying, so I didn't know how well it was going to be, and turn around with breaking track record.
Which was good. You actually broke the track record. I think it was a 16.32, I do believe, which I think you were about .20 ahead of the guy in second place. But you guys actually come here on Fridays. You guys practice. You guys get this car dialed in. This is your 3rd win this season, I do believe. 3rd, 4th. I know you've won both at Sandusky. I think now you've won one here.
Number 6.
6.
Yeah.
So, but tonight, you started to make your charge on the outside lane. Then there was a problem between the 22 and the 06. You stayed right there. You went to the outside of the 12 because he brake checked. You took over race lead, and then you just set sail. But then you had lap traffic. You had to bite through all that. So besides that, who all sponsors would you like to thank on this 10? Because I know you can't do without them.
No, Titan Tier Trim, Knock Tuning, Victory Lane. I got a win for them. I got to thank HC Finals, Robinson's Backyard Farms. I got to thank Doug Poole coming on board the last 2 weeks. Awesome. Thank you, Doug. And I got to thank on AR Motorsports.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give a hand again to your winner, Jake Albright. Of Brad Merritt, the number 0, Braden Swaney, the 443B of Justin Bison, the number 4 of Dennis Garrett, the 27 of Billy Hilliker, the number 52 of Jeremy Salinger, the 721 of Sean Dunley, the number 8 of Jeff Pfeiffer, number 47 of Rocky Nails, I do believe, the number 4E of Corey Herron, the number 29 of Brandon Neely, and the number 9 of Gavin Roop. Thorpe to the inside. Merritt to the outside. 15-lap B main feature to end day number 1. Green flag is out. Merritt using the outside lane to pull the advantage ahead of Thorpe as Garrett making all kinds of contact in turn number 3 and 4. Contact there for the number 5 position is Salinger. Went to the infield off for turn number 2. Able to save it. Right now, Brad Merritt Your race leader is Swaney, sitting in the second spot. Thorpe in third. Good battle up front is Swaney closing in on Brad Merritt for the race lead with Hilliker there in the number 3 position. White flag, 1 lap to go for the 58 of Brad Merritt is Swaney right there in second in the 0 car. To the checker flag, you're winning the 58 of Brad Merritt. Second to Braden Swaney. Third to Billy Hilliker. Fourth to Sean Dunley. Fifth to Jeremy Slinger. Sixth to Rocky Nails. Seventh to James Thorpe. Eighth to Dennis Garrett. Ninth to Connor McLean. 10th to Gavin Roop. 11th to Corey Heron. 12th to Brandon Neely. And 13th to Jeff Piper. So again, we're racing tomorrow. Here for day number 2 for the Bucky Mowing Fall Classic. We'll have the super late models, open mods, crate mods, open street stocks, mini trucks, open compacts, and then the fan favorite, the trailer race. So again, we'll see you here tomorrow at Midvale Speedway.
The top 5 transfer. Top 5 will transfer to the feature. Of Logan Hamilton. Logan Hamilton in the 10 will start on the pole. Alongside the number 32 is Brian Wetnall. Reynoldsburg, Ohio driver will start alongside. The number 14 is Doug Mate from Akron, Ohio. Doug Mate in the 14. Row number 2 on the outside, the number 17 is Greg Miller. Greg Miller on the outside of row number 2. On the inside, Jeremy Menninger in the 33 starts inside of row number 2 with the 79 of Steve Jones. The 27 is Randy Gray. The 43 is Sean Lewis. Green flag is in the air. All out of shape is Miller. Contact now with the 24. Spins in turn number 1. So Nick Grubbs, also CJ Olson Plumbing. Hamilton and Wetnall, 15 lap last chance race for the open modifieds, and we're green. Hamilton races out front, Wetnall in second. Menninger smoking in the 33 as he's side by side with Randy Gray. Hamilton will lead lap number 1. Wetnall in second. Doug Mate third. Menninger and Miller side by side for fourth. Caution on the speedway. Hamilton and Wetnall. Green flag back in the air. 1 in, 14 to go. Randy Gray to the inside of Doug Mate for the third spot. Good battle for third. Randy Gray and Mate. That 27 car come from the dirt ranks. Now on asphalt, Randy Gray behind the wheel and doing a nice job up to the third spot, and Greg Miller into the wall in turn number 3. Steve Jones, Greg Miller got together on the back straightaway. Jones spins around after he gets through turns 3 and 4. Miller into the wall in turn number 3. Tough break for the number 17. Green flag back in the air, Hamilton and Wetnall. There goes the 27 of Randy Gray. Gray going to take over the second spot. Wetnall going to drop back to third. Doug Mate fourth. Sean Lewis, Wayne Mounts battling for the transfer position side by side for fifth. So the top four pulling away. Wayne Mounts running in the 5th spot. He's actually in the transfer spot, about a half a straightaway behind Doug Mate in the 14 and Brian Wetnall in the 32. Randy Gray riding right in the tire tracks of the 10 of Logan Hamilton. Now he's looking to the inside into turn number 3. Hamilton and Gray contact. Caution going to come out. Randy Gray, Logan Hamilton together in turn 3. On the outside looking in. Gray running in a comfortable 2nd spot. Made contact with Hamilton and now has some work to do. Getting ready to go back to green. 8 laps to go. Hamilton, your race leader. Halfway home, 8 in, 7 to go. Logan Hamilton, your race leader. Randy Gray does work his way back up into that transfer spot. Brian Wetnall in 2nd, Doug Mate 3rd, then Sean Lewis and Gray. Mounts and Jones battling for 6th. Wetnall slips up the racetrack off of turn number 2. Doug Mate going to take over the 2nd spot. Hamilton still your race leader with 3 laps to go. Lewis and Gray in those transfer spots in 4th and 5th. Wayne Mount, Steve Jones continue to try to work their way into the show. White flag for Logan Hamilton. And off of turn number 4, your winner going to be the 10 of Logan Hamilton. The 14 of Doug Mate finishes 2nd. Brian Wetnall finishes 3rd. Randy Gray 4th. Sean Lewis 5th. Those are your 5 machines that transfer. Wayne Mounts and the 79 of Steve Jones do not make the transfer. So pulling to the line, your last chance winner. In the number 10, put your hands together for Logan Hamilton. On the pole, the number 47 is Rocky Nails. Alongside the number 19 is Eugene Kopp. Row number 2, the number 14 is Tim Likens from Plymouth, Indiana. And the 68 is Kyle Finlayson. The 007 is DR3, Don Rufner III. The 41 is Joe Oliver. The number 8 is Eric Feaster. And the number 22 is your fastest qualifier, former track record holder, Kyle Rector. Don't forget about the 50-50. Make sure you stop down. The Midvale Police Department is selling 50-50 tickets for the Shop with a Cop program for kids at Christmas. So stop down and visit the 50-50 booth that they've got set up, as Eugene Kopp got a little nudge from Rocky Nails in heat race number 1. And now we've got 3 wide going into turn number 3. Nails in the middle. Kopp up the racetrack. Likens falls back on the inside. Rocky Nails will lead lap number 1, and here comes Joe Oliver. Joe Oliver to the outside of Likens and way up the racetrack. Rocky Nails, your race leader. Likens now in second. Oliver and Feaster battle for third. Kyle Rector up to the 5th spot. Coming to halfway, here comes Likens on the outside in the number 14. Nails going to lead at the halfway mark, 4 and 4 to go. Likens in second, here comes Joe Oliver. Oliver to the inside of Likens for second. Oliver way up the racetrack, gets into Likens, into the wall. Joe Oliver way up the racetrack and into the 14 of Likens, and they got into the wall in turn number 2. So right at the halfway mark, Rocky Nails, Eric Feaster, green flag back in the air. Don Rufner Jr., actually Don Rufner the third. He's junior. He moves up to the 2nd spot behind Eric Feaster in the 8. Joe Oliver up into the 3rd spot. Rocky Nails 4th. Then Kyle Finlayson and Eugene Kopp. White flag for Eric Feaster. Joe Oliver trying to move up into that 2nd spot as he gets around DR3. Rocky Nails right there in 4th. Good battle for the race lead into turn number 3. Oliver, Feaster. Oliver going to try the crossover. Gets into Feaster. And Feaster wins. And Oliver gets sent to the fence. Turned off of turn number 4. He wins anyway. The number 8 of Eric Feaster from Midvale, Ohio, picking up the car earlier this month from Jeffrey Orr. That car finished 2nd in points. The number 7 is Don Rufner Jr. He'll start on the pole with the number 15 of Derek Robinson. The 443 is Connor McLean. The 69 is Dan Bucky. The 44 is Mike Stuber. That car was upside down a week ago. The number 7 is Will Custer. The 9 is Gavin Roop. And the 15 is Curtis Finlayson. Hander Haney will let him wave the green the next heat race, as we're going to go green right here. Brent, just stay right there. We'll get you after this heat race is over. Getting ready to go green, Rufner Jr. and Robinson. Green flag. Don Rufner Jr. up front, Connor McLean second, Derek Robinson third. 1 lap complete. Here comes Mike Stuber. Again, that car upside down up at Paynesville a couple weeks ago. Either last week, a couple weeks ago, it was recently. Bucky and Robinson get together. Bucky going to head to the infield. Stuber still trying to get around Connor McLean as Don Rufner Jr. leads in the 7th. Robinson way up the racetrack. Curtis Finlayson going to take over the 5th spot. Gavin Roop, Connor McLean, and Mike Stuber. Good battle for 2nd. White flag coming out this time for Don Rufner Jr. Rufner, McLean, Roop, Stuber, Finlayson, Custer, Robinson. Your winner, Don Rufner Jr., Connor McLean going to finish 2nd. Mike Stuber ekes out the 3rd place finish over Gavin Roop. Then Curtis Finlayson, the general, Will Custer, and the 15 of Robinson. In the Rufner Racing, sponsored number 7 from Yerricksville, Ohio. Put your hands together for heat race number 2 winner, Don Rufner Jr. Garrett, Barberton, Ohio driver Dennis Garrett in the 4. Alongside the 86 is Brent Schreffler. Actually, I take that back. It's Ryan Schreffler. Ryan Schreffler in the 86. The 16 is Mike McDonald. The 153 is John Myers. The 0 is Alan Clark. The 52 is Jeremy Salinger. The 27, Billy Hilliker. And the 47, Eric Johnson. So field gets the 1 to go signal. Garrett. Getting ready to go. Green flag in the air, Garrett and Schreffler. Dennis Garrett leads lap number 1. Ryan Schreffler still on the outside. The 153 of Myers right behind. Then Mike McDonald. Here comes Alan Clark looking for the 4th spot. McDonald sideways, going to slide way up the racetrack and make slight contact with the turn 4 wall. Caution on the speedway. Green flag back in the air. Dennis Garrett, your race leader. Ryan Schreffler going to slip up the racetrack, lose a couple spots. The 153 of Myers going to take over the 2nd spot. Here comes Billy Hilliker. Hilliker almost sideways through the corner. And Eric Johnson going to take over the 3rd spot. So, 3 non-Midvale regulars up front in heat race number 3. Dennis Garrett, John Myers, and Eric Johnson. Johnson to the outside of Dennis Garrett for the race lead. 5 laps complete. Johnson to the lead. Good battle up front between Garrett and Johnson. They do that again off the corner. Billy Hilliker is going to take them 3 wide. Hilliker looking. There they go up the racetrack. Here comes Billy Hilliker. White flag in the air. Hilliker is there. 3 wide into turn number 1. Final lap. Here comes Billy Hilliker on the bottom. Hilliker, Garrett, Johnson into turn number 3. Good move, Billy Hilliker to the win. Garrett finishes second. Johnson third. The 153 of Myers finishes fourth. Then the 0 of Alan Clark, Jeremy Salinger, Mike McDonald, Ryan Schreffler. That is why you don't come off the bottom of the racetrack to block high, as Billy Hilliker will take advantage of it as he picks up the win. In the Pork Chop Vinyl, sponsored number 27 from Bowerson, Ohio. Put your hands together for Billy Hilliker. Delaney on the pole. The number 4E is Corey Herron. Row number 2, the 96 is Chris Caldwell. The number 24 is James Thorpe from Berea, Ohio. The 443 is Justin Bryson. The 64 is Jamie Leslie. The 721 is Sean Donnelly. The 44 is Andrea Brokaw. The 79 is Eric Brokaw. And the 29 is Brandon Neely. Getting ready to go. Green flag in the air. Delaney decided he wanted another parade lap. He gets off to a slow start as the number 4 of Heron will take over the race lead. Delaney must be stuck in another gear or something because that thing is not making a lap. The 24 all the way to the front. James Thorpe in the 24 is your race leader. The 721 is Sean Donnelly is in second. Then the 64. Two laps complete. And he's going to pull off the speedway. Tough break for Greg Delaney. I'm not sure if that car is stuck in another gear or what's going on, but he pulls to the end or pulls to the pits. Your race leader, the 24, is James Thorpe. Sean Donnelly in second. Jamie Leslie, your race leader. White flag in the air. Off turn number 4, your winner, Jamie Leslie in the 64. Sean Donnelly will finish second. Then the 443 of Justin Bryson. The 24 of James Thorpe finishes in the 4th spot. Then Corey Herron, Eric Brokaw, Chris Caldwell, Andrea Brokaw, Brandon Neely, and Greg Delaney. Winner from Bolivar, Ohio, put your hands together for Jamie Leslie. So starting on the pole for the 15-lap feature, or 15-lap last chance race, top 6 will make the feature. The 99 is Scott Skufka from Mentor, Ohio, and Chris Jividan is on the outside of the front row. Jividan from Fraser Bottom, West Virginia. Ron Miller is in the 83. Scott Richardson in the 95. The 55 is Robbie Kordiak. The 8 is J.D. Lawson. The number 22 is Mike Town. The 31 is Lindsey Fade. The 6 is Kyle Lawson. The 0 is Blake Ripley. The 66 is Curtis Collins. 36 of Luther Hurley. The 67 is Johnny Newman. And the 75 into the front straightaway wall. Caution on the speedway. Here comes Skufka and Kordiak. Green flag in the air, 1 lap complete, 14 to go. Top 6 make the feature. Ripley and Newman, a little bit of contact at the back of the pack. Here comes Scott Richardson working his way up through the field. He's up into the 4th spot. Now contact between the 83 and 79 mid-pack, Lewis Hill and Ron Miller. Is Kordiak under fire from the number 22. Mike Town looking to move up into that 2nd spot. Kordiak in 3rd. Richardson 4th. Then Miller and the 79 of Hill. Those are your top 6. Collins, the Lawson brothers, Luther Hurley, Lindsey Fade, all looking to make their way up through. 3 wide off of turn number 4. Robbie Kordiak going to move up into the 2nd spot. Skufka, your race leader. Kordiak in 2nd. Now we've got a wreck up in turn number 3 and 4. The 6 of Lawson, the 0 of Ripley. 5 laps complete. Skufka and Kordiak on the Town and Richardson row 2. Green flag back in the air. Skufka, your race leader. Kordiak in 2nd, Richardson 3rd, Town 4th. Then the 79 of Lewis Hill and the 8 of J.D. Lawson. Those cars, your transfer cars. The 83 of Ron Miller slip back. sit back on that start. Curtis Collins trying to work his way in the 66, also the 31 of Lindsey Fade. Halfway home, 8 laps in, 7 to go. Right now, the 8 of J.D. Lawson, your transfer. J.D. Lawson to the outside of the 79 of Lewis Hill for the 5th spot. J.D. Lawson going to take over the 5th spot. Lewis Hill back to 6th. Lindsey Fade, Luther Hurley trying to work their way into the show. Tough break for Curtis Collins as he pulled off a few laps ago. And Fade spins right in front of the field. Caution on the speedway. Luther Hurley going to tag the tail end of the field. Good job by his crew getting his machine fixed up. He'll join the tail end of the field as we get ready to go back to green. Green flag in the air. Skufka and the 55 of Kodiak. Caution for the 36 of Hurley. Getting ready to go, Green, Skufka, and Kodiak. Green flag in the air. Miller and Hill battling for that 6th spot. Final transfer spot behind Town. The 8 of Lawson moves up into 4th. Miller and Hill. Hill way up the racetrack. Very loose race car. Miller has the position. Off of turn number 4. White flag for Scott Skufka. And the 79 of Hill spins off of turn number 2. Checkered flag for Skufka. The 55 of Kodiak. The 95 of Richardson. The 8 of Lawson. The 22 of Town. And the 83 of Miller will be your top 6. In the Mower Man, sponsored number 99, also Action Automotive. Sponsored number 99, your last chance winner from Mentor, Ohio. Put your hands together for Scott Skufka. Speedway, the 26 is Chad Squires. He was on fires yesterday. Chad Squires on the pole. With the number 3 of Josh Peebles from Minerva, Ohio. Josh Peebles will start outside of the front row. The number 29 is Bill Abiel. The number 10, Raleigh Hyder Jr. from Galena, Ohio. He'll start 4th. The number 21 is Dwayne Powell from North Lawrence, Ohio. The 19 is Scott Lindell. The 443 is Eddie McLean. The number 4 is Tim Scott. The 95 is Scott Richardson. And your fastest qualifier, actually, that is not Scott Richardson, that is Michael Varnes in the 95. The number 2 is your fastest truck, that is Barney Gerber. The 57 is Rick Brink, and we're green. Here comes Varnes working his way through, trying to plow through 3 wide off of turn number 2, and McLean almost gets into the wall, spins around, does a 360, and we're caution. Caution on the speedway, complete restart. Around the outside, John fires. Here comes Hyder. Raleigh Hyder Jr. in the 10, going to take over the second spot from Squires. Scott Lindell, Bill Aubil battle for the 4th spot. Lindell around the outside of Squires for the 3rd spot. Here comes the 21, Dwayne Powell, way up the racetrack. Oh, Powell gets turned, and the 26 of Squires gets involved in turn number 2. Over there in turn number. Peebles and Hyder were green. And we're green. Peebles and Hyder. Raleigh Hyder Jr., Josh Peebles. Peebles dropping back. Here comes Dwayne Powell in the 21. Here comes the 4 of Tim Scott. Also the 443 of Eddie McLean. Scott Lindell to the inside of Peebles. And now Michael Varnes around the outside. So Peebles dropping like a pebble or a rock through the field. And Eddie McLean spins in turn number 4 on his own. And caution on the speedway. Tim Scott runs 3rd. Josh Peebles, then the 19 of Lindell, the 95 of Varnes, the 29 of Aubil, the 2 of Varnes. Or I mean the 2 of Gerber. Goodness gracious. Green flag in the air, Raleigh Hyder and Dwayne Powell. Raleigh Hyder Jr., your race leader, Dwayne Powell in 2nd. Tim Scott runs 3rd. Michael Varnes going to spin in turn number 2. Michael Varnes gets off of the racetrack with a cut tire, no caution on the speedway, and Raleigh Hyder continues to lead. The 21 of Powell, the 19 of Lindell, and the 4 of Scott. Raleigh Hyder, your race leader. Dwayne Powell in 2nd. The 19 of Lindell runs 3rd. Then the 4 of Tim Scott, the 443 of McLean. Good battle up front. Top 5 trucks all nose to tail. Here comes Lindell to the inside of Powell. Problems with the number 10, your race leader, Raleigh Hyder Jr., has some issues with the rear end of that truck. Here comes Eddie McLean. McLean to the race lead, 11 laps complete. Barney Gerber spins on the front straightaway. Caution on the speedway. Now, getting ready to come. Tommy Cale, green flag in the air. 14 laps to go. Raleigh Hyder joined the tail end of the field after a flat left rear tire took him out. Here comes Michael Varnes up through the pack, although he is several laps behind the pace. Eddie McLean, your race leader. Dwayne Powell second, Scott Lindell third, Tim Scott fourth, Barney Gerber fifth. Scott Lindell slowed off of turn number 2. The 4 of Tim Scott got to the inside, almost had an accident. That 19 of Lindell slowed abruptly off of turn number 2. Lindell looks like he's back under full power now as he regains that third spot. Good battle for third, Lindell and Tim Scott. Barney Gerber right there as well. Good battle between or behind Dwayne Powell, who's in second. Eddie McLean, your race leader. Bill Abio trying to join that ruckus for the third spot in the 29. Now Michael Varnes hits the wall off of turn number 4. Varnes spins off of turn number 4. Caution on the speedway. So 9. Then we'll take a very, very quick intermission. Read our 50-50 winner and get on with our features. Green flag in the air, McLean and Powell. Into turn number 3, Dwayne Powell to the race lead. He said, "Pow!" Oh, Barney Gerber and Tim Scott spin off of turn number 4. Getting ready to go back to green, Dwayne Powell, Eddie McLean. Green flag is in the air, 17 laps complete. Dwayne Powell, Eddie McLean. McLean sideways off of turn number 4. Good battle up front. Eddie McLean going to shoot out into the race lead. Powell trying to battle back. Here comes Raleigh Hyder on the outside. Tim Scott runs third. McLean clear to the race lead. 19 laps complete. Problems for the 10 of Raleigh Hyder. Eddie McLean, Dwayne Powell, 4 to go. Checkered flag for Eddie McLean. McLean takes the victory. Dwayne Powell finishes second. Barney Gerber third. Tim Scott fourth. Bill Abil rounds out the top five. Out. We can have some of the kids come down and take one lap on the train. Once she drops the people off, is Eddie McLean going to climb out? Not now. Eddie McLean! Come over here, Junior. What's going on, man?
Oh, man, that was something else, wasn't it?
I'll tell you what, it was interesting. We'll just leave it at that. You had your hands full in this thing, man. It was fun watching you fight the wheel coming off of turn 4 about 5 or 6 times.
We got up at daybreak this morning and made some major changes on this. I had a major push yesterday. I couldn't get rid of it. I had an epiphany about halfway through the night on what I wanted to do with it. Got up at daybreak, got it done. Was still working on it, missed hot laps this morning, so we didn't know what we had until we got it out here in traffic.
I'll tell you what, you did a nice job having to come from the back and the front and all this other stuff, everything going on. This was a good show. I know you want to thank a lot of people, Barney Gerber and them guys putting this whole thing together. You were a part of that. All the sponsors that were involved of putting this Mini Truck Fall Classic race together.
Absolutely. And I got to thank my own sponsors, Columbiana Water Parts, J-Mac Truck Bodies and Cranes, Jones Tax Solutions. Also have to thank Peebles Racing and Keith and Rob and Brady. And I also want to say, I made a little promise that if I won this race today, I was going to donate this money to a kid in my hometown who needs a ramp built. So this money is going to a good cause today. And I want to come up into the stands afterwards. I want you to fill my helmet up so we can get this kid a ramp. All right? Thank you.
All right, Eddie McLean getting a little emotional. He's going to come around with his helmet. If we can get you guys to maybe throw $1 or even some change in there and help get this kid a ramp that he needs at his house, that would be awesome. Awesome of you to do, brother.
My pleasure.
Congratulations, brother, on a great win. We'll leave it at that, all right?